Hi, this is Beebee. I'm here with my dog Ruby. This is Scrambled Sid City. This should be either the last or second to last episode here. We are wrapping up, heading into the finale. Um, Alexa says, if you want to cuddle, we can do that after. Boo. I mean, good motivation, but still boo. You seem to respond pretty well to a little motivation. Shut up. That's the impression I got. I'm trying to unwrap the innuendo. I think it's an innuendo in my head, and, well, anyway, fine. That means we both have to come back from this alive and safe and without blood on our hands. Sound fair to you? Alexa says I'll do my best. I mean, at this point, what else can I ask from her? Despite everything, we both managed to get out of the apartment alive and well and ready to roll. I mean, it still took a while, but on the other hand, that means there's no awkward waiting around. We've checked the CCTV feeds, and that's Enchantress in there. I mean, actual in-costume, small-time supervillain Enchantress. Seriously, she just walked into the casino dressed like that. Maybe she wants to be caught, or maybe she's taunting us. I mean, we spent a whole month chasing after her, and basically got nowhere. But we're here now, outside the casino, and considering our method of entry. We're a little late, huh? Ladies, is it gay if you want to hold hands with your fellow superhero while you survey the crime scene? Currently, our hands are very much not in contact, but they're not, like, far from each other. Frequency says, that isn't necessarily a problem, is it? All the better to expose her crimes. In front of a huge audience? I thought you didn't like being all flashy. My first thought is, what would keep her from killing Enchantress? But my second one is that I bet she'd go for it anyway. It's like it's one thing if she finishes her off while no one's there to see it, but doing it while the world watches. I don't care if Frequency doesn't care about her reputation. Sure, maybe this is selfish, but I'm doing it just because I want someone I can look up to, and I'm doing it just because maybe this is selfish and I'm doing it just because I want someone to look up to, but I want her to seem like a hero up until the bitter end. I'm neutral towards it, she says. There's some fun and a little bit of spectacle, especially if it's a grand finale. Hey, cool down a little bit, we say. Seriously, she looks too into this. I'm getting worried. Anyway, we've got something to make it real easy for us to break in there. I guess I've been taking advantage of this power against her without her knowing, so I don't know if revealing it to her might actually fuck me over in the future, but... No, bad Sid. Faith in your partner. Come on. I grab her hand, much to her surprise. Ladies, guess what? I am gay. And then She sounds surprised. Neat. I'm invisible. Camouflage, thank you very much. But, yeah, pretty slick, right? She holds her chin in her hand, thinking it over. Or, well, I think she's doing that. I have no clue. I can't see her. We're cloaked up. I see. I wasn't sure what the exact mechanics of the power, but it clearly is camouflage, she says. Yeah, it's like a real limited custom-fitted force field, I guess? Like, it's semi-based off contact, but not exactly. Wow, never mind. I guess I'm blabbering exactly how my power works to her, as far as as far as I know, at least. It's impressive, however it works, she says. And well worth training further. Now imagine if we stumped Enchantress by making the entire casino invisible. She chuckles to herself while I scratch at the back of my head. Pretty high expectations, freak. But maybe we'll get there someday. That might be more trouble than it's worth. Think bigger, Sid, she says. Don't think of the hero that you are, but the hero that you could be. When she says something genuinely honest-to-God motivational like that, I'm always between laughing and crying. Jeez. Haha, yeah. I think we should go in then. This definitely makes things easier than the zipwire method I was considering. She still sounds really impressed at the cloaking, which is cute, but not what should be focusing on right now. I use that sense I have, that weird parapsychological perception, that lets me sort of intuit where limbs and hands and all those bits are, and find where her hand is, grabbing at it again and pulling her in the direction of the stairwell with me. There's a lot of bouncers and guards and other kind of scary-looking dudes outside the casino. Sure, they don't see us, but I know a couple of them look in our direction when they hear Freak's heavy footsteps. Or I awkwardly shove up against one of them while running through a still open door. Can't imagine how hard it'd be to get in here non-violently without my power. Maybe Frequency couldn't do this by herself, after all. Kinda ironic that they're keeping us out when we're the good guys here. I mumble something along those lines to Frequency, but I don't get much of a reply in response. I guess she's in her serious mode again, or maybe thinking about the one-liner we're gonna drop when we confront Enchantress. By the time we get to the main hall of the building, she's already on stage, dazzling the audience with some seriously impressive tricks. I kinda wonder, does it take away from it when you know what she's doing actually is real magic? She's in the middle of some real impressive card tricks right now, where she just places a deck on the table halfway across the room, and somehow just draws just the card the rich old dude wrote his name on from when she was on stage, or she's on stage. There's a pretty major degree of craftsmanship to her act. She's not just using her powers, she's definitely great at the whole actual sleight of hand stuff. Truly a worthwhile adversary. I mean, I'm still too pissed off about the phone to like her, but yeah, credit where credit's due. Watching from the side of the hall, we start whispering, trying to discuss our next move, but then end up having to talk out loud just to hear. We say, so what do you think her actual plan is? Frequency says, I'm not sure. There's a lot of money in circulation here, but if she wanted to do, all she wanted to do was pull off a heist, she wouldn't have to come in here as a magician. Even if she has a flair for the dramatic, it'd be much easier to do that as just some ordinary visitor. Maybe she's after something in particular, like one of these dudes has some diamond worth $1 billion. Oh, I absolutely could believe that, Frequency says. At least Alexa isn't guessing. She's here to kill people. A little while longer, I have to remind myself I'm here to stop her, not just watch. I know Alexa's just biding her time, looking for the perfect time to strike, or biding her time, sorry. The card tricks end, and then Enchantress grabs a torch from somewhere, and I hear a sound from Alexa's direction, like she totally just tensed up. I mean, fair. And now for my final act, Enchantress is saying, I dare you to toss your possessions into the flame, and I'll make them disappear before they burn. All right, Sid, it's showtime. Shit, that one actually kind of worked. I have no clue what this torch trick is going to be, but as she encourages the audience to come up and throw stuff into the fire, and one brave lady gets to her feet and starts approaching the stage, something whizzes through the air, hitting Enchantress's hand and causing her to drop the torch, which seems seriously unsafe, but it has the result of making everyone close to the stage scream and get back, so probably safer in the long run, kind of giving Frequency the benefit of the doubt here. Enchantress says, who's there? It's the first time I've heard her genuinely caught off guard, too. I tap Frequency's hand, and we both uncloak at once. There's a brief moment where Frequency readjusts to being visible again, lurching forwards a little as her eyes catch up to where her body actually is. Show's over, Enchantress, we say. This is your curtain call. Take a bow. Bang, 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 firing them off like a machine gun here. But Alexa's not joining in. I look at her face again, and her expression is that of pure, concentrated neutrality. She must be thinking about a lot right now. This actually could be her chance to take revenge and close out this chapter of her life. Enchantress says, the incredible pensioner and poached. You know, I don't normally like to share my stage with untalented hacks, but there's a first time for everything. She's playing this off as calm and cool as ever, but I think she's still shaken from the sneak attack earlier. You can't hear it in her voice, but her body language makes it clear she wants to retreat quickly. Is she going to teleport away again? Who is that? The audience asks. Frequency? The world's eyes are on Alexa now, and as soon as Enchantress jumps backwards, she leaps forwards. Not going to teleport? Well, I thought I should show a little respect for my elders, Enchantress says. As they dash off, leaping off the stage and into the rows and rows of tables and machines across the casino floor. The crowd screams and panics, understandably wanting to get away from the super carnage unfolding. I do my best to follow along after them, sure. I might be a faster runner than both of them, but they're leaping around like crazy. Have they got, like, superhero super shoes? Frequency probably does, so she's not teleporting. Frequency says, why not? Is it possible that she can't actually do that? Shit, now that I think about it, I've never actually seen her just warp out of existence. She's always gotten away when I wasn't looking. She really is a stage magician, through and through. But if she can't teleport, then there's a real danger that when Frequency does catch up with her then, even if Alexa doesn't mean it, even if she's forgiven Enchantress, or God, not even forgiven her, just accepted that murder isn't the solution, all it'll take is one thoughtless slip of the finger, one quick movement, and it'll be over. Impressive stamina for a woman of your age, Enchantress says. You're right! I shout, similarly thoughtlessly, and Frequency shoots a glare back at me before she suddenly trips, foot caught in one of the chairs by a roulette table, and ends up rolling into some kind of dramatic, loud break fall. It'd be enough to wind anyone, but she's already staggering back to her feet like it's nothing. We're not done yet. She's panting, swaying from side to side, like that really was a rough fall, but she still staggers forwards, all while Enchantress is laughing at her efforts. Are you sure? Because it's never too late for you and your... She gestures over to me with a slightly confused look in her eyes. I admittedly just kind of standing at the sidelines right now. I want to jump Enchantress, but what if she does pull a weapon on me? your apprentice over there to simply sit back and let me go. In fact, I haven't a clue why you're so desperate to get my blood on your hands. Frequency says, you've never shown any remorse for your actions. Have you not a single shred of guilt? Enchantress says, of course not, darling. Now, why would I have? If I apologized over nothing, what kind of goody two-shoes villain would I be? In fact, I'd be a hypocrite, and I'm sure that'd make me, someone like you, hate me even more. I don't know if Enchantress knows how deep the cuts she's making are, but I can see that Frequency's gone from on edge to actively angry, and she's a few paces away from Enchantress. Asshole! She leaps forwards again, with almost all the speed and force of her previous bounds, and raises her fist up as she flies towards her worst enemy. This doesn't seem to bother Enchantress, who waves her arm in a flourish, a sheet appearing out of nowhere in front of her, as if to catch Frequency mid-flight. Frequency lets herself get caught, and sends her fist crashing into Enchantress's gut. There's an audibly unpleasant smack as the blow lands, Frequency's natural strength enhanced by the nanomachine construction of her suit, like a carbon fiber strike to the stomach, and it sends Enchantress flying. Alexa, we yell. I forget to call her Freak in the chaos, running over to help her remove the sheet, but she's already on the move again, throwing the cloth behind her, and right onto me. Enchantress says, my oh my, I feel positively merciful compared to you, Frequency. While she's still definitely conscious, the punch manages to send Enchantress slamming into one of the slot machines, and she's not as quick at getting back on her feet as Frequency was. Well, you've got your chance, she says. Finish me off. By the time I got the cloth off myself, stumbling around and even trying to cloak the sheet to make it easier to see through it, I catch up with the two of them and see the standoff they've gotten wrapped up in. Is it even really a standoff? Enchantress seems basically immobilized, wincing every time she tries to get up, and Frequency. Alexa has her gun out, aimed right at Enchantress, and her finger is floating over the trigger. More than that, it's twitching. Everything she's wanted is all here. Her revenge, her pride, her dogma, her own guilt. If she pulls the trigger, then she'll get the release, the validation she wants, what she thinks she wants. And that's even if she gets it after the deed is done. We shout, Alexa! When I shout her name, she pauses, gaze hovering over in my direction for just a moment, like it was a distraction she didn't expect. Alexa! I say it again, softer this time, with meaning. What is it? I can't cloak away your gun this time, we say, or scream at you and tell you to stop, and I don't want to argue either. Maybe if I had, a slightly better power, I could stop you from fighting or something, or I could have caught Enchantress first, or I don't know, just stopped us from getting to this point in the first place. I start walking towards her, and as I do, she looks away, studying her target for any sign of resistance, any reason to end this immediately. But I know that if I look over, I'll start freaking out too, and at this point, I'm kind of the responsible one here. I'm the only one without either a deadly weapon or a seriously fucked up personality. But we're here now, and it's been good. I think we've learned a lot about each other, we say. So I'm just going to keep walking until we're face to face. I know that you like blue cheese on your pizza. Fucking disgusting, Alexa. I hate you. You think misspelling death and crew and dark side are really cool things to do, and you do actually lift. And that you like brandy and you cook mean eggs and you could maybe let your bacon fry a little longer. And you want to teach me mahjong when we get a free weekend and try to understand Chinese gangster poker. And you've got some weird fucked up complex about wanting desperately to do the right thing even when there's no right answer. So you're willing to go to insane lengths to try to make that work out. We're almost eye to eye now, though I still have to look up at her a little bit. She says, "What's your point?" I really don't know. My best skill is stalling for time before doing dumb shit. Dumb shit like... Aw, that does not look like us at all. I'll tell you why. That looks like a white person, and we're not. Grabbing her around her shoulders, holding onto her tight and kissing her. We might have kissed before, last night, kissed a lot, in fact, Jesus, but this feels so much more intense in a way. Maybe it's because she's holding the gun, like the danger adds to the sexiness? But then again, I hear a thunk below me. I don't look down, but that's gotta be her dropping it, right? It has to be, because I feel her hands, both of them, on the small of my back, pulling me in, making the kiss a little deeper still. She's leaning forward a little, placing her weight onto me, the weight of her lips, of her head, of her whole body, and as I stand there and hold on to her, giving her something she can rely on, that will support her no matter what. This is very sweet and very good, and we're going to wrap it up in the next episode. I hope you're seeing. I hope you understand. Thank you, and catch you next time. Bye.